Good afternoon. My name is Mike McManaman, and I work for Goshen County Schools. I'm an instructional facilitator. I've been working with Josh Jackson, who teaches sixth grade language arts. He was recently Teacher of the Year in our school district. Congratulations, Josh. We have been struggling for probably the past 2 years to find a tool that will help us with our RTI system and even beyond that. We're really trying to find something that can record and also let students input a little bit and parents see standards-based grading. So just a little bit of background. We have Power School in our district, which is a system that to us it's because it's an SIS system from the district level. It's too big to get the changes we want, we don't really believe it can do, even if those changes were made, it could do what we wanted it to do. We've looked at all sorts of LMS systems, from Blackboard to Canvas, which is a great product, to many others that do a lot of the things that we like, but it doesn't exactly get the job done. And one of the negative things about LMS systems, in our opinion, is they're just too big. And they'll do 35 things, and really we only want it to do 4 things. And so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what we're looking for, and then maybe hopefully we can get some feedback from you. So this is a product out there called ActiveGrade, and it probably is the closest of anything that we found to what our vision is. And the reason we like ActiveGrade, first of all, it's not an SIS system. It's an individual teacher product where you can quickly put in your prioritized standards, and that's something that you hear a lot in our business. People are, instead of teaching the whole Common Core, each district is prioritizing. So we need a product where people can put in, we call them in our district, top essentials. So you see here, these are 10 top essentials for sixth grade language arts. So it does a very good job of that. It took me not very long to put those in. I can add an assignment quickly. One of the downfalls of this is that it will not let us put in what we in our district call success criteria. Other districts might call them targets. Sometimes you might hear them as benchmarks. But really, each one of these top 10 things, if you look at that one right there, determine theme or central idea of a grade level text, it's a big idea, and there's a lot of individual things within that we need to be able to track. So our product, we want it, not only do we want to be able to put in our essential, but we want it to be able to break it down in what we call success criteria. So this one, for example, right here might have 4 or 5 success criteria that we would have to track. And that makes sense because you could be really good in 3 of them and struggling in 2, and we really need to know that. We really like the stop right report that it gives here. There's no percentages in here. We just want basic 1, 2, 3, or 4. ActiveGrade, again, can put in kind of averages, and we'll talk about that as well, because most of the systems out there now give you a bunch of choices in terms of how you want your formatives, as we would call them, your individual grades. And I'll show you here. This one there's 4 grades in here, so I'll click on one of these individuals. Actually, let's do it this way. And so you see over here that basically this person's overall is a 2.8. The system that I have it on right now it's taking the last grade is 75%. And standards-based grading, that makes sense because really it's what have you done for me lately. And so that's one way to do it. This program has another way. The last one is 65%, and then they have a formula out there that I think came from Marzano that's becoming very popular, and really what it is, a complicated math formula, but it kind of is more of a predictor of what you would do next. So we need a system that would let us choose what type of way we would want it to average up our grades. And so moving on, you can see over here too that ActiveGrade does let the teacher go in and make some comments right here. I could also put a document in there, and that's not bad. We would like to go a little bit beyond that. We don't want a full LMS system, but we would like a a way to basically do four things. And this is one of the things our district, and you'll see districts around the world that they're looking at. This book is called Visible Learning by an author by the name of John Hattie. He's probably one of the most looked at person in terms of being an expert in education right now. And he did a meta-analysis of all the things that work in education and came up with a list. And this is his top 10 right here. So we're really looking at these main ones. Student self-reporting grades, if you've ever heard of students' I can statements, because we found that it's number one. If you can get students to be able to grade themselves, to be able to get good at seeing where they are at things, that really leads to higher levels of learning. That's a big one. This RTI our district is using, and so are many other districts. Formative evaluation, how you actually formally assess. That's what all those little benchmarks or those individual formatives are in the grade book. Teacher clarity, that's just getting really clear. That's like that top essential and what are the success criteria. And then feedback. So those out of that top 10, we would love somehow to get in our product. So a way that a student could be hooked to this, they could log in, make a comment back to us, maybe have a set of I can statements that they could rate themselves on. We could comment back, and maybe not in the beginning of our product, but later, to be able to have the student hook the actual artifact. So if it was a small writing that they did, they could hook that artifact in there. So really, that's kind of what we're looking at. We don't have anything out there yet that we have found that will do the things that we want it to do. It needs to be simple. It needs to be clean in terms of if a principal walked in my classroom and said, tell me today which kids need more help or what we call interventions, and we could say, well, Bill right here on this top 10 needs an intervention, and we could click on it and it would tell us even more information. We could have the criteria in here and say specifically they need to be able to write a paragraph on informational text or whatever the case is. So that's what we're looking for. I hope this makes sense a little bit. We're going to send this to you before Josh has a conversation with you, and we'll see how it goes. And Josh can add anything I forgot in here as well. So I appreciate your time, and hopefully I would love to work with you.